Hello folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. Hope everyone's doing well. Spent most of the day, this afternoon, outside, doing chores. Beautiful day outside. Living here, it's either moving snow or managing vegetation. There's no real sort of happy medium. Anyhow, to boxing. I managed to catch a couple of Moses Itauma media interviews. One was with Talksport, and I can't remember who the other was with. It might have been with Dev Sarni. I honestly can't remember. He talked about a few things. He spoke about the pressures that he finds, expectations. He wasn't really like, woe is me, whiny about it. And to be fair, he's growing into his media comfort. Like he's still not a finished product, right? He's only 20 years old and he's getting better, but he wasn't explaining himself, with, crystalline clarity. But he was saying that there's, expectations. People, expect me to knock somebody out. And if I don't knock them out, then people are critical. And oh, heaven forbid if I was to lose, So all these sort of pressures. He talked about that. As Simon Jordan said, he's sort of hostage to fortune. Interestingly, Moses said he wants to have rounds. He doesn't just want to be burning through opponents. He wants somebody who can give him rounds. He recognizes I'm combining a couple of interviews. He recognizes that he needs to have that, that foundation. So he needs to get rounds in. So he needs to fight somebody who can give him rounds. When he was talking to Simon Jordan, in fact, on both interviews, he mentioned Martin Bakoli, because clearly there's been gossip about Moses fighting Martin Bakoli. We've talked about it here on this channel. And Moses was quite sort of dismissive, really, of Bakoli, saying he's not the man he once was, and that he was trash against Efe Ajagba. So again, interesting to me that he would be so candid, I suppose. Not the man he once was, I think that's fair, but trash against Efe Ajagba? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm surprised that he would say that. He's not necessarily wrong, I'm just saying I'm surprised that he would say that. On one of the interviews he was asked, but supposing it's a lean, fit Bakoli, and Moses was sort of saying, well, not really, like he really wants him to come back. He said if he can come back and be the so-called bogeyman of the division, then it's a fight that makes more sense to me. But for the moment, not so much, So he did explain something that sort of, as you know, I've been complaining because I can't understand why Mike Belogan, the former NFL guy, is Moses' opponent. And no explanation has been really forthcoming. But through this interview he gave to Talksport, Moses himself said there was this opportunity and it never worked out. And as he was explaining, Ade Oladipo said, oh, tell us about the opportunity, and he kind of interrupted Moses, when Moses might well have gotten there by just, leading him, allowing him to say things in his own way. But when Ade jumped in, Moses sort of, shook his head and said, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't, I'll tell you in the studio sometime. And then the rest of the story was kind of lost. But anyhow, he was saying that there was this opportunity which we don't know what opportunity it was. But the opportunity never transpired. It never came to fruition. The deal, whatever was being talked about, never happened. And so he said, you know, I had to get on a show. I wanted to get on a show. In other words, keep busy. And so Mike Belogan was found simply because there didn't appear to be many people available at what was relatively short notice. Belogan has said that, of course, you know, I'm here to fight, and I'm going to do a good job, and, you know, everything you'd expect him to say, right? A great opportunity for him, should he win, and all that sort of stuff. But he's got fast hands, apparently. I suspect that he will last, I don't know, 3 rounds, maybe? I don't know. Not many. I would imagine that Moses can end it when he wishes to end it. There we go. But we understand now why he's on this card, and he's you know, having this fight. It's because whatever opportunity there was, which he was sort of holding himself in reserve for, didn't transpire. So at least we got something out of that. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.